I want to show you the 4 things that I do to get incredible results for my coaching and consulting clients. These are the 4 steps that if you do this, your clients are going to get incredible results, which leads to incredible case studies, which leads to more marketing material that you can use to sign more clients. All right. I'm going to show you some proof here. Right here is an example of just a couple of the clients that I work with. If I go to right here, we have KJ 0 to 40K a month. I believe he does like 70, 80 grand a month now. Jacob 0 to 50 grand a month. Derek 0 to 16 grand a month. Adam 0 to 20 grand a month. If I come here, I have a bunch of screenshots of people that I've helped. I helped Joseph get a Rolex. He got to 50 grand a month. I've helped a lot of people get results, and this is all within my coaching and consulting business. You could pause and take a look at these, but I know how to get client results, and that's what I want to show you here in this video. So let's dive into the first one. All right, I'm going to zoom in here. What is the first thing that you have to do to get incredible client results? Well, the first thing you have to not even do, but understand is that the quality of your clients will determine the quality of the results that you get. Now, a lot of people understand this. The coaching and consulting space, there are a lot of offers that don't get client results, especially the biz op offers, right? The people that teach you how to get into new business models and they help beginners. Those offers have incredibly low client results. Maybe you went through them. I went through them when I was a beginner. And the actual success rate of those offers is very low. I would say on average, like 30% of clients get results. Nearly every single one of my clients gets incredible results. And it's because of the quality of the clients that I actually bring on. So the people that you talk to, this is incredible to think about. This isn't even something that you're doing in your actual delivery process, but the people you sign determines the results they get. I'll give you an example. I remember I bought this program from one of my mentors who's an incredible entrepreneur. And this guy was getting incredible results. I mean, if you go to his Instagram, he has like 15 different story highlights of 100 stories in each on all of the client results he's getting. But what's interesting about this guy is that the stuff that he teaches is no different than a bunch of other people that aren't getting as great of results as he is. The only difference that I found by being in the actual program, like paying to be there, is the quality of the people in there. If I show you guys like KJ, right? KJ right here, incredible entrepreneur. Like he is an incredible person. And when I started working with him, I just showed him the path to follow. And the reality is when you're running a coaching or consulting business, you cannot save your clients. Like you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. And so if you hard sell somebody into your program, but they have false beliefs and they have a job over here and they don't have time to actually dedicate to the stuff that you're telling them to do, they're never going to get results. And so this alone will save you so much time, because if you're speaking to people that aren't high quality, you're not going to have incredible results, man. I don't care how good your stuff is. You will not have an 80, 90% success rate inside of your program, because the people in there matter more than anything you can give them. And so what I recommend, and I literally did this, right? My first ever coaching offer, if you look through the back of my YouTube channel, was helping agency owners, because that's what I did. I scaled my agency, and a lot of the clients that I initially worked with were beginners. And it's not that I couldn't serve these guys, but like there's a rule that I like to follow, and I tell people as they're building their coaching offer. It's like, dude, who are the people that you can get the absolute best results for with the least amount of your own time and energy? Because if you can get incredible results for a beginner, but you have to be on calls with them every day of the week and keep reminding them, hey bro, you have to take action. Hey bro, stick to this niche. Hey bro, do this, this, and this, right? If you work with an absolute beginner, they're going to drain your damn energy. And if you're working with coaching clients that you don't enjoy getting on calls with, talking to in Slack, you're going to start associating scaling with pain and saying, hey, if I get more of these guys, I'm going to start to hate the business. So subconsciously, you're not going to want to sign more clients. So I literally went through this. I worked with beginners. I didn't frankly enjoy it. And so what I decided to do is I decided to say, okay, I want to run this business forever. My business is Smart and Scaling. Like I want to run it as long as I possibly can show up in front of the camera and make videos for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a requirement that anybody that works with me needs to have at least one solid case study, especially since I'm helping most of my clients build a coaching program or consulting business. You can't do that unless you have a case study either with your own life and what you accomplished or with another client, right? And so I said, okay, let's set this as the bar. And let's just say you need at least one case study. Because I found the people that had one case study at least got incredible results versus people that didn't. And it's the classic 80-20 rule, right? Who are the 20% of the clients, voice crack, who are the 20% of the clients that are getting 80% of the results and wins inside of your program? Well, you analyze it, and I found like, okay, they have case studies, they have the right mindset. You don't have to tell them to take action. That's just a prerequisite. Like these guys come in knowing they're going to take action and do every single thing. Okay, let me only speak to those guys then. And so what I did is I said, hey, like if you're a beginner, just watch the free content. Just go consume. You don't need to buy a high ticket coaching program right now. You really don't. Consume the free content, take action on it, get some results, get some movement and some momentum going, and then you could work with me type of thing. And so if you're working with beginners, I would just say, be careful, man. Whenever I'm building an offer with a client and we're going over the actual ICP, the ideal client profile that we're targeting, there's three things we want to look at. First of all, do they have the money to pay you? Yes or no? If you're working with beginners, they do have the money to pay you, but it's harder, right? Like anybody in America can find $3,000, $5,000. If your offer is valuable enough and they see the ROI and they trust you, they're going to go sell their car. They're going to go ask their mom for the money. They're going to go take out a loan. They're going to go get a freaking credit card. You can find money in America, in most countries in the world. So they have to have the money to pay you. And the more money they have, the easier it is to close, obviously, right? And so that's number one. They have to have the money. Number two, they have to have an actual problem that they want to solve, which is number three. Do they want to solve the problem? For the longest time, like I understood that running a coaching business is the best possible business you can run online. And for the longest time, I was trying to sell to people that didn't want to teach other people what they know. They didn't want to make YouTube videos. They didn't want to build a coaching program. And I knew they needed it, but they didn't actually want it. And so I realized that and I'm like, dude, I am playing on the hardest possible difficulty. Instead, I'm just going to speak to the people that already want to post YouTube videos, already want to run a coaching business. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope that's clicking. And I'll give you an example of this. I'm working with a new client right now and we're building his coaching offer. And for context, let me actually move this up. This will be very, very valuable for you. My client, he's running a video agency for realtors. So he shoots, it's an in-person agency. He shoots the listing videos and photos for realtors and the properties they're selling. He's currently making 20 grand a month and he wants to launch a coaching offer. And we were going over the ICP together. And he was stuck up on this before working with me. The reason he was not taking action was because he didn't know who he wanted to target. Because he can go two routes. He could treat it like a biz op, a new business opportunity, and say, hey, if you're a beginner, running an in-person video agency is the easiest way to make 10, 20 grand a month. So he could treat it like that, but he told me himself, he's like, dude, I would make so much money doing that, but I don't really know if I want to serve those people. I don't know if I want to get on calls and tell people every day, like, dude, you have to do the work. You have to stick with this niche. The typical beginner advice you have to give out. So he could have gone the biz op route, but instead we went the scaling op route, a scaling opportunity. So he's talking to existing video agency owners that are maybe making 3 grand a month, 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month. And he wants to show them a new opportunity to scale their business. Why? Because he told me himself, he's like, yo, Christian, I'll be honest, dude. If I had a guy on a call and he was making 5 grand a month and he was like the exact person that I was when I was at 5 grand a month, I can get this guy to 10, 20 grand a month in 4 months. Easily. Just plugging in this outreach system, doing this, this, and this, he can get there easily. He was so convicted in how he was telling me this. And I'm like, bro, it is a no-brainer. We're going to do this. Because it takes the least amount of our time and energy. It's somebody that has the money because they're already making money in their business. They have a problem. They're stuck. They can't scale. And they actually want to grow the business. It checks off the 3 boxes. So the quality of clients determines the quality of your results. Audit who your actual ideal client is. And if they're a beginner, if there's somebody that doesn't have the money, doesn't have a problem, or doesn't want to change, don't sell to them. That's the first thing I learned. Number 2, the second thing I learned is that one-on-one help will be any course or group program on earth. I get incredible client results per the actual amount of clients that I have. Like for most of the big coaching programs, they probably have similar amounts of case studies to me, but they have hundreds of clients. So how the hell am I able to do it with like 20, 30, 40 clients at a time? It's because every client that I work with gets one-to-one help from me. And it's something that's unscalable, and it turns people off when they're like, oh, but I don't want to sell my time. And it's like, dude, if you were getting paid $500 for an hour of your time, would you do it? It's like, yeah. So I don't actually have an issue selling my time, especially if my time is valued at a high amount, and especially if I enjoy the time I spend on a call with my client. If you don't enjoy getting on one-on-one calls with your clients, it's probably because you shouldn't even be serving them or selling to them in the first place. You should enjoy the clients you work with. You should actually care about them. Simple cookie cutter advice. But at the end of the day, the principle here is that me serving my clients on a one-to-one level helps them get incredible results. And the reason being is you can create the best course on earth, but everybody has their own unique problems, limiting beliefs, obstacles, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's different and unique in some way. And I figured this out early when I gave people the same course material, when I was showing people how to scale an agency. And I had two guys here. They had the same material. One of them goes on to get incredible results, changes his life, gets the car, the house, or whatever he wanted. The other one doesn't make a single penny. What's the difference? Maybe this guy over here, maybe I shouldn't have signed him up in the first place. Maybe I should have given him more one-on-one support. Maybe he was facing something internally that wasn't solved in a general course for everybody else in the group. You see what I'm saying? So one-on-one help gets the best possible results in the market. Figure out a way to implement it. Okay? Maybe this means increasing your prices, offering bi-weekly one-to-one calls, or weekly, bi-weekly/weekly, with each of your clients. Limit the amount of clients you work with. So not only does this lead to better client results, but here's what I found. Having a one-on-one offer creates a blue ocean. When people buy coaching or consulting, they're not buying the offer, they're buying into the person that's selling the offer. And so if you could say to somebody like, dude, you're not getting just a course and a community of guys, like everybody's selling that. I'm going to help you on a one-to-one level, dude. We're going to hop on calls every week. We're going to make sure you actually get to where you want to go. I care about you. I want to spend time with you. It creates a blue ocean offer. The other thing that I found with one-on-one calls is that not only does it create a one-on-one, a blue ocean offer, but one-to-one creates natural scarcity. I know that it's impossible for me to work with 400 clients right now and give them my one-to-one time. And I don't need to, because I get paid a good amount of money and I limit on how many clients I could actually serve at once. And so I could naturally just tell people like, dude, I'm working with 25 guys. I legit have 5 spots open because I don't want to spend 12 hours a day on calls with every single one of my clients. So it creates natural scarcity. So not only does offering one-on-one help you get better results, which leads to better marketing material, but it also helps you create a blue ocean offer and natural scarcity within your offer. I'm not saying you need one-on-one help, but especially if you're getting started with your coaching or consulting business, you seriously want to do this, man. When you get on calls with your clients, you understand the actual problems they're facing, the questions that they're asking you. That gives you content ideas to make to help more people, to show them what you know, provide value, to then get them to work with you. And it also helps you create your course. One of the biggest mistakes, and this is a side tangent, just some extra value for you here, is just creating your course right away. Creating your course right away is the worst thing you can do. I can't stress this enough. It is so bad to do this because you need actual feedback and data from the clients you're working with on a one-to-one level before you go and create your course. I think any coaching business should start as a simple offer where you have a Slack channel with your client, you get on Zoom calls with them every week, and they don't have a course. And you simply walk them through the steps that they need to do, which is going to lead to point number 3 here, in order to get the result that you're selling. Okay? I can make a separate video on that. Number 3. Building a client success roadmap. I don't have it pulled up here. I'm going to show you my client management pipeline in a second. But building a client success roadmap is incredibly important. If you don't know the exact things that need to happen to get your client the result that they paid for, you're going to lead them blindly. And the worst feeling on earth as a coach, as a consultant, is giving somebody advice that doesn't end up working for them. It is gut-wrenching, man. Telling somebody to do this, and then they go on and do it, and it leads to a negative result. It is awful. And the number one way to fix this is get very clear. I talk about this on all of my offer trainings on the A to B transformation, right? This is where they're currently at. This is where they want to go. What are the exact steps, regardless if you do it for them, if they do it with you, whatever, what are the steps that need to happen in order to get them the result that they are paying for, and simply create a roadmap. What do I mean by roadmap? Well, you want to follow like a yes-no equation. And so in my roadmap, when a client works with me, first thing we do, like any scaling offer will be similar to mine, right? We refine the offer, nail down the high ticket offer. Then we implement the acquisition system. So boom, now we're getting leads in the door. Next, we create a VSL to pre-sell these leads. Next, we fix the sales process. These are things that have to happen. Another key thing that I'll tell you here. To add on to the point of the yes or no, maybe they implement the acquisition process. If they're not getting booked calls, then they need to refine the offer and change up the actual process. And so it becomes this equation where no matter if they're getting the best results on earth or the worst results on earth, you know what to tell them to do next. Here's another little thing that I do with clients. I do something called a 7-day sprint. And my clients implement this in their own coaching or consulting business. You need to increase the actual speed to results that your clients get. And the number one way to do this is by implementing some sort of strategy within the first week of them working with you, where there's a very high likelihood that they could pay for the investment they gave you in itself within the first week. That should be your goal. I talk to way too many people that have a coaching agency offer or whatever, and the client that pays them, they make their money back at the end of them working together. Pretend this is like a 4-month program. They start getting results in month 3. What's the problem with this? Well, if they start getting results in month 3, that means they're spending 3 months after handing you thousands of dollars before they see an ROI. What happens to most people is, in theory, this makes sense. Like, yeah, it takes time to ramp up. But if your client doesn't get reconfirmed that they made the right decision, this is called buyer's remorse, right? They pay you and then they get scared. Did I make the right decision? There's things that we do there on the onboarding, rolling them in, the 1-hour kickoff call. But the point here is, most people will not spend time doing the work for 3 months to get the result if they're not getting anything for the first 3 months. And so if you do some type of tactical 7-day sprint where if you have a scaling offer, maybe it's a reactivation campaign and you email everybody on their list, or you post an Instagram story post with a call to action, and that gets your client a result right away, that's going to increase their trust with you. It's going to reconfirm their buying decision, and it's going to make them commit to the 3-month process to actually start getting the results here. That makes sense? Like if I told you to do something and I'm like, dude, I'm going to tell you to do this, but you have to do it for the next 3 months before you get a result. Maybe you do it, but most people, they'll stop after week 1 because they don't see the result. Most people need that instant gratification. They need to see that the thing actually works right away. So you want to build a client success roadmap that determines everything you need to tell a client based on where they're at, either positive or negative result that they got from the thing you told them to do. Okay? Number four, building a client management pipeline. Now, for, I guess, privacy reasons, I'm going to block out my clients' names, but here's an example of how I manage some of my clients inside of this Notion database. Okay? I have a client management pipeline, and it is the most simple thing on earth, but if you could just do this, it's going to help you a lot. Basically, here on the left, you want to have all of your clients written down, and then you want to make 3 call-ups. The first one is urgent, need support. The second one is monitor, which means in progress. And the third one is scaling or high performer. So you want to add your clients in here, and then you want to create a little legend, right? If they are urgent, this means that they require immediate attention and support. A lot of people, they get thrown into a coaching program, and the actual coach or the CSM that they're handed off to, or whoever's supporting them, they don't actually keep a pulse on where they're at. And then you feel like, as the person buying the program, you're like, dude, this guy doesn't care about me at all. At all. But if you have this management pipeline in check, and I'm sure you do care about your clients, but when you start getting enough clients, things can start slipping through the cracks. You don't remember about this one client that has this big bottleneck and he's stuck. If you have this in place, you'll never run into that. For an example, these 2 clients right here, I know they need support. So I'm going to be messaging them first when I start my day versus this guy over here that's agreeing. He's scaling. He implements it. He's getting results. I need to prioritize these guys. Then I need to prioritize the guys in the yellow because they're doing the work, but I'm monitoring. They're progressing, but they need regular check-ins. Scaling are the high performing clients with excellent results, which you still check in on, but these are the guys that are green in the green. They're good to go. This is going to reduce the actual chargeback rate that you get. It's going to increase the LTV, and clients are going to feel like you actually care about them, which leads to good word of mouth and a lot of referrals. You want to implement something like this 1,100%. This is the pulse check that we do with clients. If you do these 4 things, you're going to increase the ROI that your clients get on your program. Okay? I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, go check out my other content. I have a bunch of absolute bangers, a bunch of sauce on scaling, a coaching, info, agency offer. Go check it out. Thanks for watching, dude. I'll see you soon. Peace out.